Hey guys, John here. Welcome to another channel update video. Alright, so today's topic, 2023, 2024. I had planned on making this like on New Year's Day, but things have just gotten in the way and everything. And I did one take and I didn't like it, so I gotta freaking redo it and all that stuff. So basically, New Year's is over, 2024 is over. Well, yeah, 2024 is over, dude. It's 2025 now. And no, I meant to say the start of 2024 is over, but not really. It's still the first week. Why is it the moment I press record, all the noise happened? It was silent for hours. Anyway. So, we're going to talk a little bit of reflection stuff about 2023, and then we're going to talk about 2024 stuff, okay? So first of all, 2023, it wasn't amazing, and I feel like, the last few years have been tough on everybody, and around the world, things were awful, and so much stuff going on. But there were a couple of bright spots to 2023 for me. I figured I'd touch on that. One of them was I actually had a goal. I'm not going to call it a resolution. I'm not really a resolution guy. But I had a goal for last year to lose 20 pounds. And I lost 33 pounds. And I'm really proud of that, personally. I think it's really something to hang my hat on, so to speak. And now a freaking plane goes by, like right after the other thing. What is going on? Anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. You guys might be thinking, hey John, what's your secret? How you lose 33 pounds? It's called stress and anxiety. I mean, I'm sure that played a part. But I mean, for me, mainly, I just cut back on stuff, Skip a few meals, cut back on, sweet treats, things like that. And typically, that'll help me get the pounds off. But either way, it was a goal, and a goal that I not only met but exceeded in a good way. And yeah, I'm happy about that. The other big thing in 2023 was that my locally accessible family grew. And some of you might be thinking, oh, John, you and your social anxiety disorder, I bet that was rough. It's been challenging at times, but you know what? It's getting better, I think, for me. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's nice that someone other than my wonderful parental units actually want to see me and spend time with me from time to time. So that's been nice, Don't get a lot of that these days, so that's been fun. And I'm trying to get better in that regard. That's something, throughout this year that I'm going to try to do better with. I'm not the most accessible person when it comes to social situations. I definitely struggle a lot in that regard, and it's been fun and nice to try to break out of that shell a little bit. I'm going to try to break out a little bit more this year, but it's a slow process. If you have social anxiety disorder or anything like that, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's not always just as easy as some people think, that you could just just do it. Just get out of the house, just mingle, just do things. It'll get easier. And in some ways, yes, but in other ways, no. Sometimes it's just not that simple. The brain is a mysterious thing that we don't really understand still, and it works in weird ways sometimes. But one thing I actually read about, which was pretty interesting, was repressed and suppressed anxiety, which opened my eyes to a lot of things with how my brain works. That research was actually pretty helpful, and hopefully I can learn more about that sort of thing going forward. But either way, yes, it's been nice having more people about and to try to broaden my social horizons a little bit, and to have, like I say, more people that actually want to see me. There's not a lot of people that want to see me, let's be honest. Aside from that, 2023 was pretty tough. I'm not going to make this some big sob story video, but let's be honest, it was rough. Financially, it was a struggle. I had work, and it was enough work that I didn't miss any payments, like on my credit card debt or my other bills, so that was good, and I'm thankful for it. But it wasn't enough to get out of said credit card debt or, you know, do anything big. just basically enough to survive. So again, I'm grateful, but I'm really hoping that in 2024, you know, I can get better hours, better pay situation going on, and hopefully I won't have as much of a fricked up sleep schedule, because pretty much through most of 2023, I've been pretty much staying up all night and then sleeping like half the day. Not ideal, you know, but a lot of that was based around like the work stuff and the availability of it, and also just my brain has been really weird with sleep stuff too. But I'm trying to fix it a little bit, and I'm hoping that, you know, I can get on a better schedule for all things going forward. But yeah, so that was rough. Another thing with 2023 was just coming to grips with some changes that have happened in the past year or so. And while I don't know if I'll ever actually talk about these very personal things in a video or a stream or anything, you know, some people know what happened and the deal. And I don't know if I'll ever actually understand, you know, why things happened the way they did or anything like that. I'm going to try through 2024 to put it behind me, because it really put me in a pretty low place in 2023 whenever, you know, I would think about that. So I'm going to do my best to put that behind me and focus on the positives going forward, and not dwell on the past. That's, you know, easier said than done, but not dwelling on the past and constantly trying to move forward, even if it's a tiny little step at a time, it's really important. I've never been good at it, but it's really important. A big way that I want to try to do that in 2024 is to achieve a couple of goals. Now, I don't like calling them resolutions. I feel like I always fail resolutions, but having some goals for the future is important. And one of those goals, well, I mean, aside from what I said before about better, you know, work situation, aside from that, my other big goal, which, you know, it's been a goal that I've had for most of my life, but I would like to finish a book that I think is good enough to get out in the world. Now, publishing a book, you know, several years ago meant something different than it does nowadays. Nowadays, with ebooks, you know, Amazon, all that stuff, pretty much anybody can write something and put it up on the internet, and voila, you're an author. It's probably not going to sell much, and honestly, anything I write is probably not going to sell much either, but it's a goal. Now, back in the day, I had written some stuff, and I sent them off to publishers, and they did not accept them, and honestly, that was very good on their part to not do, because reading back on that stuff now, whew, boy, not good. Good ideas, right? Not good writing. But I have had some recent resurgence in my interest in both reading and writing. I read several books in 2023. That was one of the other bright spots, was that I actually did read books again. It had been a long time a long time since I had read books. Like, it used to be my biggest passion, and then after a couple of moves, you know, all my stuff's just been in boxes forever, and so I just wasn't reading anymore. But in 2023, I got back into reading a little bit, and it actually inspired me to write as well. And so I have a couple of ideas that I've been dabbling with a little bit, and I think this is going to be the year that I write something that I think is good enough to put on, you know, Amazon or whatever as an ebook. And, you know, if it sells 2 or 3 copies, at least I fulfilled something, a dream, a goal that I've had since I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, I was so, like, imaginative and creative, way more than I am nowadays, but I really was always thinking up stories. And, you know, with my mom and my grandma, I'd come up with all these little stories, and we'd work on them together and stuff. And I'd scribble them down in my terrible handwriting in a notebook or whatever. And I always wanted to be making something. I wanted to create a world full of adventure or whatever, mystery, whatever. And I would like to think that at least once in my life I could fulfill a dream that I had back then. Now there's other dreams I had back then that are never going to be fulfilled, but like that's one that I think I can. And so that's something that I'm going to try to do this year. So before the end of the year, which I'm giving myself like until the last day, so you know, but before the end of the year, I want to have done that. And maybe I will, maybe I won't, but that's what I'm gonna hope for. Aside from that, goals for the channels, you know, YouTube and Twitch. I mean, 2023 wasn't great for that side of things either, to be honest. I did get into doing shorts and stuff early in 2023 and then fell off from it. And then at the end, after some encouragement, I got back into shorts again and they popped off. Now, whether or not that helps the channel, I don't really know, because when people are doom scrolling through YouTube shorts or TikTok clips, nobody's really gonna linger on your channel, to be fair. They're not gonna look for more stuff from you realistically. Even if they hit the like button on it, they're just gonna keep going. I do this all the time myself, even if it's something I like. More often than not, I'm not gonna like follow the person and look for more of their stuff. Sometimes, but most of the time I'm not. So I know it's not a big thing about, you know, expanding the channel, but it's getting new eyes on stuff and maybe that'll draw some people in. I don't know. But as far as my major plans for this year is to continue what I started a bit ago, which is finishing stuff. There's still some stuff that's like close to being finished and I want to focus on that. You know, Stray, Sea of Flame 2, Mario Sunshine now in that mix. And I'm forgetting one. What is it? Sonic Adventure DX. That's what it is. I'm trying to block that out of my mind. And at the point I am now, I've uploaded all of the stuff from the original run, and all that remains to be edited now is the stuff that I did to end it. So once I get that done, it's done, right? So there's that. But you know, I'm always getting that feeling of wanting to start a new project as far as games go. But I'm trying my best to focus on that. And then of course there's all the Skyrim, and I'm still debating on how I want to handle that. There's so much footage from Skyrim that if I edit it the way I've been editing it, it's going to be like 250 episodes or something. So I'm debating about maybe just putting up full VODs or condensing it a lot more. I don't know exactly, but I'll figure that out over time. As far as like starting new things, I have this situation that comes up a lot with me, where if I try something new, it might actually be good for the channel and it might get views, but it doesn't always tickle my fancy. It doesn't always make me want to play more. Just because it's successful, it may not be my cup of tea, right? On the flip side, I'll really be into something and then it gets no views, but I want to keep playing it. And yet it is discouraging because it's not getting views. So it's like, it's kind of a vicious cycle where I just don't do anything new, I guess, or try new things or whatever. But also, I get these urges to do stuff that I've done before. Lately, you know, it's like there's been certain things that I've wanted to either play again or like continue, that are things from the past that I know they're not going to do well view-wise, and to be honest, they're things that I've already done for the channel, and yet sometimes that's just like what I want to do, and I can't sometimes fight those urges. It's why I've done like 3 playthroughs of Banjo-Kazooie on my channel, because I love the game, and sometimes I just want to go back and play it again. That doesn't mean it needs to be on the channel, though. I know it could just be on Twitch, and honestly, some things lately I have done are just for Twitch. Like Rogue Legacy 2 and stuff like that are games that I can just play for Twitch like that and not feel the need to put on YouTube. Realistically, I did put a little bit of Rogue Legacy on YouTube, but like, you know, it's something like that. So I know there's nothing wrong with just being like, I'm going to stream this tonight and then it's not going to be YouTube content, right? But I feel bad when I don't have stuff for YouTube. I know I have a lot of footage that I need to edit, but like, if I don't have stuff going up for YouTube, it feels like I'm not making an effort to, you know, get my numbers up and hopefully get monetization back at some point. But yeah, so I don't know. It's always a debate in my mind. Like there's new things that I want to try. There's things that's been suggested to me or things that's looked good to me. So I might dabble with that. But also, from time to time, I'm just going to probably pull something off the shelf that most of you aren't going to care about, but it's just because I feel like it, you know? So there's that. But anyway, for the most part, focusing on finishing a bunch of stuff that needs to be finished, clearing up stuff from my hard drives, and then we can focus on something new. Now, as far as recorded only content, like stuff I didn't stream but recorded just for YouTube, I can't really promise much of that in the near future. I mean, I'd love to get back to some of that. Let's see, I was doing Donkey Kong 64, I was doing Mass Effect, I had started Red Dead at one point and then didn't go on with it. Things like that I would love to continue, and they were in recorded format. Now, you could make a case for switching that to stream, but I don't know. Like, a couple of those, especially like the more mature stuff, I kind of prefer doing it in recorded only, because then I can edit if I need to, like if something pushes TOS or my own boundaries. Donkey Kong 64 wouldn't do that. I might actually end up doing Donkey Kong 64 on streams, because I feel like in the long run it probably would be better to do it that way, but I don't know. But as far as like Mass Effect or Red Dead 2, stuff like that, there's things that can crop up in those games that on stream I wouldn't be able to hide. I could edit for the YouTube version or whatever, but like, yeah, so that could be a issue. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I'd like to say I'm going to have time to record in the future more, but the realistic situation is I don't know what my work schedule stuff's going to be going forward right now. So I don't want to promise or start something that I can't finish, basically. And so yeah, that's going to be something I figure out over time. But for now, like I say, focus on finishing stuff. Focus on expanding my horizons a little bit. And we'll see from there. But again, you know, as I always do with these things, I want to thank those of you who have been watching. Now, I know there's not a lot of you. Some of you I'm related to. But for real, I appreciate those of you that take the time to watch, to leave a like, to leave a comment. Those of you who tune into the streams, like, I get it, you know, times change, you know, people lose interest, move on, get busier, get jobs, get, you know, spouses, whatever. Things change for people and they move on. And, you know, it's a challenge for a content creator over a long period of time to maintain, you know, loyal viewers or whatever for a long period of time. And it's not that viewer's fault either, because like I say, they've got a lot going on too. So, you know, it is a challenge, but for those of you who have been watching, I do appreciate it. And I'm going to do my best to keep making content that you guys will enjoy. And if I make content sometimes that's just for me and it doesn't really float your boat, I get it. It would be nice, you know, if you could still take the time to, you know, open the video up, give it a view and a like, you know, but, you know, whatever. But still, I got to find that balance of, you know, what makes the channel work and what makes me happy. I've never been good at that. I've always either tried too hard or not tried enough, but we're going to find that balance, and hopefully 2024 will be good across the board. Personal life and, you know, financially and with the channels. So, yeah, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you that are watching right now have a wonderful new year. Wonderful 2024. Let me know in the comments like what some of your goals, resolutions might be, and what you'd like to see on the channel. You know, like, I take suggestions. I don't always use them, but I take them. Anyway, yeah. I'll see you guys next time for more. Bye.